Those shoes. Liverpool, the most decorated club in the land.
No additional players to the squad, but they've still got plenty of talent. Welcome to the Premier League.
And a slot starts with a win. And Hudson-Odoi!
It wasn't good enough today.
This is the time where the players will have clocked into what they have to do.
Oh, what a save by Callahan. Liverpool lead again.
They can bring on weapons when they're in trouble.
I think we've set the bar or the standards quite high.
All right, and of course, the beautiful pictures from the English Premier League as Liverpool took the title this weekend, making it 20 Premier League titles. And of course, you can see the story of how Jurgen Klopp handed over the baton to Arne Slot to take this team to El Dorado. They were dubbed as the underdogs going into the season. No one expected this Liverpool side to run away with the league title with as much as 10 points. And of course, to say that the team stayed on top of the league from, was it the match day 10 or match day 15, if I'm correct in that one. And they stayed on top until the very end. And 10 points, they finished at the top of the league. What an epic story. What a story as far as Arne Slot and the boys is concerned. So much stories, so much records were torn apart this season to see Liverpool win the 20th league title out there in England. And of course, some would say congratulations to Liverpool. You never walk alone. The most decorated club side in England. And of course, talking about winning titles, they know how to do it the best. And of course, you can see the pictures of the players all celebrating. They persevered till the very end, picking up the league title. On that note, I say welcome to Locker Room on Voice of the People TV. It promises to be exciting, lots and lots of action. We'll be talking about as far as football is concerned. We're all primed for action. Of course, unfortunately, Kech is not here with us today. We'll be taking a look at what's happening as far as the exciting world of football is concerned. Hopefully, Maiwa gets to join us virtually. We'll be taking a look at what's going down as far as football is concerned. My name remains Jerry Alpelihoy, reporting for football duties. Okay, and let's start off the show. Let's talk about the Super Eagles camp. As we speak, the camp is busy, and Samuel Chukwueze, we hear, is already in camp. And as far as that one is concerned, so much to look forward to. And of course, we understand that Maiwa is in, and of course, maybe after having a meeting with Amorim, consoling the boys. It's good to have you here with us, celebrating with the champions of England. Talking about Liverpool. Mayowa, definitely, you can't take it away. And I'm waiting for you and David. I tagged you guys on the group chat, but no response. Immediately after Gravenberch took it, everywhere went quiet. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. Anyway, it's good to have you join us on Locker Room today.
Well, it's always amazing to be here. I mean, the thing is, Gravenberch winning the young player of the season, well, no doubt. However, what you were saying was he was supposed to be player of the season, but I don't think he had that kind of quality in him to do that. What he has won is, is the right thing for him to have won at that particular age. However,
that was my line of thought as well. Young player of the year. Yeah, that was my line of thought. Or maybe you didn't get me correctly.
Oh, okay.
Then. Yeah. It was just that
okay.
the Atenu boys said he doesn't deserve the young player of the year. I don't understand.
No, I don't think so. I think he put in the performance. And, the result is there for everybody to see. He was very instrumental in Liverpool winning the title. A lot of people might not say it. Yes, Salah.
Either of Jamaica or Trinidad and Tobago in the tournament or the game. Now, 6 players are yet to arrive at the camp as at the time of this report, but at least 3 players, namely Samuel Chukwueze, who just a minute before I got into the studio, he has arrived at the camp, and that's good news. We're still waiting to hear from Stanley Wambali and Chris Santos Uche, who are expected to be there before the team's training camp training today. And of course, for the list of the players who are already in camp, we have Ahmed Musa, Moses Simon, as well as Kelechi Iheanacho, Shemi Ajayi, Frank Oyeka, Nathan Teller, Cyril Dessers, Felix Agu, who just been training with the boys, and there's also Wilfred Ndidi, and as well as Bruno Oye Machi, Junior Unduka, who also in the NPFL is Ojetoye Waliu, Collins Chinemerem, Sikira Limi, Ahmed Musa. Interestingly, he's an home-based player. He plays for Kano Pillars. There's also Xavier Isaac and Sodiq Ismail, and of course Papa Mustafa. So we have a contingent of 3 midfielders from the NPFL. We also have about 3 forwards and 4 defenders from the NPFL. Talking about the players from the NPFL making the Unity Cup game, which comes up this Wednesday against the Black Stars of Ghana. And the players still expected in camp: Stanley Wambali is still expected, Maduka Okoye, Amas Obasoje, Chris Santos Uche, as well as Samuel Chukwueze and Tolu Aroko Dari. And of course, those are the contingents of players from Nigeria in England for the Unity Cup game. Okay, you can see them all beaming with smiles and excited. They're already in England as we speak. The home base stars. Mayowa, those are the pictures from talking about Ahmed Musa, the captain, with Ogumodede, the man who won the NPFL with Remo Stars, all there in England.
We've said it consistently, and I hope the purpose of the Unity Cup is achieved. And what is the purpose that we are talking about? We are looking at getting new players to play for the Super Eagles, for us to be able to see how well they fit with the already established stars. The critical question we should be asking is this: what is Ahmed Musa doing in that particular team? I mean, we've said it consistently. Ahmed Musa has not been part of the team for a very long while. Ahmed Musa is, I think he will be 36 later this year, if I'm not mistaken. At 36, what is still? How many years does he have to give the Super Eagles when we have younger players that we should be thinking of testing out. Also, another very critical thing is this: the listed home-based players, are they going to be an integral part of this Unity Cup? Are we going to see them play? Well, like I said earlier, on the 28th is not far again, just 2 days away. We will know exactly what Excel has the plan. However, I will be so disappointed if majority of those playing in that particular competition are the already established stars and not, the future of the Super Eagles that we are looking at. Because at the end of the day, if we feed the established players, it means we are not ready. We are not yet ready, to find suitable replacement for positions in the defense, midfield, and even in the attack.
Yeah, talking about the NPFL players, we've seen the names, and if our producers would also help us with that, talking about the NPFL players, we've seen them. Papa Mustafa, for instance, has been with the team before, and alongside Sikiru Alimi, he has got an invite before, and Ifeanyi Onyebuchi. Taking a look at those names, ordinarily, even Sadiq Ismail has also been invited sometime before. So taking a look at these names, apart from Ahmed Musa, who definitely has a lot of experience with the Super Eagles, some of these players should be able to convince the coach in training why he should give them minutes in that game against the Black Stars of Ghana.
Yeah, can you hear me? So the thing is this: when they've been invited before, what is the level of their participation? If they invite you and you are sitting down on the bench, it's as good as you are not being invited, because nobody is using you. Nobody is using you. Nobody is using you. I mean, the essence of the invitation is for us to be able to see you play. Yes, the Papa Daniels, Papa Mustafa, Ifeanyi, and just of them, they've been invited before, but what was their participation? What was the reason why, why do we have players that have not played at all for the Super Eagles on the bench, while we are feeding a player that is injured, that couldn't stand his ground against the Zimbabweans? It shows how little confidence, the coach has in those guys that he invited. But the bottom line is this: if you are inviting them and you are not using them, as far as I'm concerned, yes, he has invited them before, they have been part of it, but I want to see them play. That is the essence of the Unity Cup, not the fact that you invite them and you keep them on the bench just for them to warm the bench for no reason.
Yes, keeping them on the bench, definitely that's one of the major talking points, because if you invite the NPFL stars and they don't get to be used, the purpose of having them will now be defeated. And of course, we'll be taking a look at the full squad list properly so that Nigerians will understand those who will be persecuting the game. And we've seen the list of players. I'm still yet to know about Nathan Taylor's situation, if he has already hit camp, because he is supposed to be a part of this team. So, and if you take a look at the names of the players we've seen so far who are in camp alongside the home-based players, if the home-based players do their job very well, they should be able to get minutes, because we have opportunity of have 5 substitutions, meaning that though they may be playing to win, but on the long run, it should more or less be about seeing what the players can do when it comes to match situation, because trainings are different from match situations. You have to test the reality of these players, being able, it should not be the goal, win at all costs, but definitely win should be at the back of their mind. But seeing these players bring out their best in terms of their quality against a very, very tough side, which is the Ghanaian Black Stars side. So we've seen the pool of players to persecute this Unity Cup. On a good day, if the home-based players give their best, at least they should be able to convince the coach why he should use them on the long run.
The thing is this: if you look at the list, right, the list is filled with a whole lot of foreign players, right, a whole lot of established players. There's a Siri Dessel who we know has been doing so well for Rangers. Yes, he struggled at some point. However, I think at the later part of the season, he has been able to get his form back. There is a Maduka Okoye, who has been part of the team before, but at a particular point in time, he has not been he has not been able to nail down the number one threat for the Super Eagles. I think and I tell we want to go for a Maduka Okoye, leaving Amas or Basoge out. Do you understand? The bottom line is this: in as much as we feel the home base players might have their shot, with the list that I'm seeing now, I can bet it with you. I don't think any home base will start, and if any of them will start, probably maybe just two of them, which is not what we should be looking at. And also, you said something the other time that winning should not be about the winning. It should be about what we are trying to build. And I want to agree with that. I hope Eric Chell is not after winning. Yes, I know if we win, it might count in our rankings with FIFA, since FIFA had already recognized this particular tournament. However, as they will say, now who is that we playing an unfit player, to play a particular match for us, while we have home-based players on the bench. From the list from the list I've seen, I don't think Chel will use majority of the home-based players. Majority of the home-based players are just there to warm the bench. Well, on the 28th is not proves me wrong. But from what I'm seeing, I don't think it's going to field majority of the home-based players in that particular tournament.
All right, Mario has lost faith in Eric Chell using those players. And of course, anytime soon, we'll be hearing from the man talking about Eric Chell on his plans for that game. Just a 1-minute video. And of course, we've seen the pictures of the players as well, videos of the players already arriving in London, trying to make their way to the camp. And of course, we can see pictures as well of the training as they are preparing to train for the game. And of course, we'll hear from Eric Chell as well, just in 1 minute, his plans for that game. And not to forget, it's a conversational program. You can also call in via the WhatsApp number showing on your screen. And you can also drop your comments via the WhatsApp platform as well on the number. Don't forget to do that. And also drop your comments on for those of us who are watching via the YouTube platform. You can drop your comments on the comment section. We'll take them as the show progress, because it's all about you. It's the voice of the people. That's why we are here. And we're also on LCL TV, channels 264. You can get us on LCL TV anytime, any day. And we're just talking about the Super Eagles camp and 20 players in camp. We also have Samuel Chukwueze who has joined them to make it 21. We're still expecting some talent to join up with the team. And we can tell you for free that Ago, who a lot of fears have been about whether he's going to be available, has been an issue. But we can tell you for free that now he's going to be a part of the game. So, Maiwa, what do you think about Felix Ago? We've been hearing that his international clearance was the issue. We're not happy that the NFF did not do due diligence in terms of making sure he is available. But now that he has been cleared for the game, we need also to talk about it, that at least the NFF has listened to our criticism and decide to do the right thing, and he's going to be available.
Well, I think it's a good one. Yes, we are one of those. I'm one of those that is very critical with how NFF handles a whole lot of things. However, I saw the news earlier when the news broke that he has been cleared and he will be part of the team. And that shows that the NFF actually listens. However, they are a professional organization. You don't put the you have cleared it, you should have made sure that the international clearance was sorted before you even published his name. if you look at the current list, they said 20 players are in camp. We are expecting 6. I would have expected them to have probably included a Felix Agu. We are expecting 7 till they get the international clearance. Not the fact that you are announcing a player that has not been cleared. But in any case, that aside, kudos to them that they've been able to resolve this in less than 3 days. We know how poor they have been in terms of documentation, but they've been able to do this. And kudos. I'm looking forward to seeing Felix Agu be part of the team, and let's see what he can bring to the table for the Super Eagles.
All right, let's see what he can bring to the Super Eagles. He's actually a fullback, and you take a look at the fullback options. And I think for the left back option, we've been having some bit of struggle on who makes it in the left back option. And of course, hopefully, he brings something different as far as playing from the fullback position is concerned. We are good with talking about Olaluwa, from the right. But let's take a listen from the man who is on the hot seat, Eric Chell.
We have a lot of players in Nigeria, so we need to give a chance to the lot of players they can show us their quality. Now we have a lot of players in Nigeria, a chance to the lot of players they can show us their quality. Now we have a lot of players in Nigeria, so we need to give.
All right, there's Eric Chell saying that we have lots of players. That means he's saying that he's going to have some headache in terms of whom he's going to start in the game against the Black Stars of Ghana. Maiwa definitely has lots of players to pull out from, but he should be careful not to. Lots of players to pull out from, but he should be careful not to be deceived by some players in training and not get to use the best of the legs, or eventually find out the best he needs eventually when he needs them in crucial games. It's good to be embarrassed with talent because it makes your job easy in terms of picking the best out of the rest. And I hope sentiments will not come to play, and some players will not show you so much, and eventually when you need them, when it matters the most, they will not deliver.
It's very simple. There is always sentiment included. Sentiment brought an Ahmed Musa into that particular team. I don't think an Ahmed Musa should have been part of that particular team. However, that being said, I think one thing that Chelsea should understand is not. I think we should begin to look at this game as an avenue for us to be able to build our team. Yes, we are playing our rivals, and it is very important that we are playing against our rival, and it's more like a derby, and you know how difficult derbies are. It's not, you don't like it. However, that should not be our point of focus at the moment. Our focus should be, we need to get key players that will be able to be part of the Super Eagles when we are playing the much more important games. How much is the Unity Cup going to give us? The World Cup will give us way more than that. It will be so sad that we've had African footballers of the year back to back, and we will not be part of the World Cup. This is the time for us to be able to get the suitable replacement that we need. That is what Chelsea should be focusing on. Yes, I understand out of the players invited, in as much as I have a case for the home-based players, I know there are a couple of players that have not played for Super Eagles before. Case in point, a Felix Agu, who will be making his debut for the Super Eagles as a fullback. However, this is an opportunity for Chelsea to be able to see what these new players will be able to do. Also, the last time a Kole Osho played for Nigeria, because of how competitive the game was, he was very nervous in those 2 games, and we couldn't see the best of him. This kind of game gives an avenue to relax, and we'll be able to see the best of them, and we'll be able to see if actually these players will be able to be part of Super Eagles when we are going to prosecute our crucial games coming up later this year.
All right, and of course, we understand that the full interview is not ready. Talking about Eric Chell. Let's take a listen from the man who is involved and was still on Locker Room on Voice of the People TV.
Nigeria. So we need to give a chance to the lot of players who they can show us their quality. Now we have a lot of players in Nigeria, so we need to give a chance to the lot of players who they can show us their quality. Now we have a lot of players in Nigeria, so we need to give a chance to the lot of players who they can show us their quality. Now we have a lot of players in Nigeria. We have a lot of players, so we need to give a chance to the lot of players who they can show us their quality. So it's difficult to me to talk about other things pitch, you know. So I can tell you something. We are focused. We have a game project. We want to build a group. We want to create an identity with the game project, with the plan project. So we need to put in this team some player who can learn quickly this game project. So Unity Cup is a great moment to try some player, to try some other systems, to be ready in September. I was in Nigeria. I watched few games about the National League, and I spent my time to analyze this player, to analyze the other players. This is my job, and I think they have some quality and they deserve to have a chance. I'm sure about they can bring lots of intensity, lots of aggressivity, lots of envy to play for this jersey. You know, I picked 10 player about 10 player of National League, 10 player. It's and I tell you, they are good player. I think Ahmed is a good player. He's a great player. I think every Nigerian know that. This for me. This is the reality. This is the fact. The second thing, he can bring his quality, and he can bring his experience. He know the game because he play lots of game, lots of big game. So he can bring something to the group. So my vision is like the other player, to give him a chance. He need to take his change and show us what can he do. And after that, this is my job. He can play. He play. If he make a great game, this is my job. You can come or you can. But for him, I think he has a lot of pressure because he need to be very good. In Malian team, we were strong in the midfield. With the Nigeria team, I think we are strong. We are strong in the midfield, but we are very strong in attack.
And the coach of the Super Eagles of Nigeria, Eric Chell, talking about Ahmed Musa. He said he's a great talent, great experience. Maybe his English, I don't know. I was not too comfortable. His English was not really convincing, I don't know. But at least he still gave it the best shot. Talking about the Frenchman, not too comfortable with his English, but talking about Ahmed Musa being a great player, bringing something to the team. Do you agree with Eric Chell on that one? What more does Ahmed Musa have to offer the Super Eagles in terms of performance on the pitch?
Well, I think first of all, I think going forward, Chelsea should speak in French. I think he'll be able to express himself better in French, and we find an interpreter. To be honest with you, I think a whole lot of things that he wanted to pass across was missing because he was struggling to speak English. He said something about the Malian team, and he also said something about the Nigerian team. I think what he meant was he thinks we are not that strong in midfield. I think that's what he was trying to say. I don't think he meant that we are also strong in midfield, because if we are strong in the midfield, majority of the time we control the game. At the moment, if you look at how we play, we don't control the game in the midfield. Also for Ahmed Musa, I think the bottom line is this. Obviously, we don't expect the to come out and say Ahmed Musa was forced on him. I don't think there's anything Ahmed Musa wants to give the team again. Yes, he has a whole lot of experience. I can't take away the experience from him. This is a person that has gone to a World Cup before and has played for Nigeria at the World Cup. I think he even scored at the World Cup for Nigeria. So he comes with a lot of experience. However, at this particular time, Ahmed Musa is not the kind of person we need. If you listen to what he said about Ahmed Musa, it means the Super Eagles team is an avenue for Ahmed Musa to discover himself, which is not what we need at the moment. We need players who will be able to play, who will be plug and play, not an Ahmed Musa. And for those that love Ahmed Musa, I don't hate Ahmed Musa. I don't have anything against him. However, at the moment, Ahmed Musa is not the kind of player we need in terms of moving our team forward. So for me, I think he knows a whole lot of people are critical about Ahmed Musa being part of the team, and that's the reason why he has a whole lot.
All right, and of course, I hope it will not be a situation where he will be biting his fingers in terms of selection of players. We've seen selection of players being the undoing of so many Super Eagles coaches. Not until recently, we saw what happened to Finidi, your man, Finidi-Born. And we hope that that will not be the fate of Eric Chell at the end of the day, because the Super Eagles selection process is more like the issues you have to deal with as far as the cabal who runs Nigerian football is concerned, interest at play as far as selection of Super Eagles players is concerned. Talking about selection, we know that Sex Bruges midfielder Lawrence Agekom will be part of the squad of the senior national team of Ghana for the Unity Cup in England after being named among the Europe-based players for the friendly tournament by head coach Otto Addo. Lawrence is registered as a Ghanaian, but he said that in October 2024 through his mother, and won't hesitate to jump at the chance of playing for Nigeria if he's called up by then Super Eagles coach Austin Eguavon. With no interest from Nigeria, the coach of Ghana, Otto Addo, handed him a late call-up to his squad as a reward for his fine form that has seen him play in 27 league games, making 23 starts, and also 5 games in the Conference League with 1 start. He has now been handed another chance with the Sports in the squad for the Unity Cup, where they will begin their campaign against Nigeria on the 28th of May before facing either Jamaica or Trinidad and Tobago in the tournament or the game. It will be an emotional game for the 22-year-old if he gets to play the game owing to his desire to play for the Nigeria team before Ghana offered him the chance to play international football. Okay, while you heard this, Lawrence Agekom, he plays for Sex Bruges. He said Nigeria was his first option because his mother is Nigerian, but it looks like Ghana took the opportunity. He's still 22 and he's been doing great things for Sex Bruges out there in the Belgian league.
Well, the thing is this. I think these are the kind of people we should always look at in terms of picking players from abroad to play for us. If you heard what he said, I mean, this is somebody that's passionate about playing for Nigeria, not the other players that we have that will probably that will probably take Nigeria as a second choice. However, I think probably during the era of the last coach, they felt it's not good enough for Nigeria, and that is the reason why they didn't pick him. It's going to be very emotional for him owing to the fact that he'll be facing one half of his family in Nigeria against Ghana. However, the moment he plays for Ghana, I think that will be it for him. I think he'll probably continue as a Ghanaian international. However, I'm looking forward to see I'm looking forward to see how he's going to play against Nigeria, because I mean, with the start and what he has shown for St. I think he has the quality to be part of our team. I don't know the reason why the previous coach decided not to give him a looking, but it's a good one that Ghana has given him the opportunity to be able to taste national team football, and let's see what he will be able to offer the Ghanaians. I mean, it won't be bad. It means we decided to gift Ghanaian one of our own.
Anyway, but if you look at the situation of Lawrence, if you were definitely you will pick Nigeria over Ghana anytime, any day. So it's quite understandable why he wanted to play for Nigeria.
But at the moment, it seems Ghana will be going to the World Cup and Nigeria will not be going.
Yes, I think I agree with you on that.
I mean, the thing is this: if I were in his shoes, at that particular time that he was talking about playing for Nigeria, we were not in this terrible situation in terms of the World Cup qualifying group.
Yeah.
Ghana is doing so well. If he's part of the Unity Cup and he does so well for the Ghanaian side, definitely he might make it to the rest of the qualifiers, and that I guarantee him a spot, at the World Cup. Whereas for Nigeria, we do not know yet if we are going to qualify, and I don't think we are going to qualify. So I mean, I'll pick the World Cup over any other thing. Ghana is likely going to the World Cup. Nigeria, I don't think so. So definitely, I think Ghana is much more favorable to him at the moment.
All right, and of course, let's leave the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Let's take a look at what's happening in Europe as we go over to the celebrations that went down in the Premier League. And of course, it had to be Mohamed Salah, with just 6 minutes left of what has been a memorable title-winning campaign for Liverpool. The Egypt forward hit a record equaling goal against Crystal Palace on Sunday to ensure the season finale party at Anfield did not follow a defeat. And of course, the goal was Salah's 29th in the league, and that tally, along with his 18 assists, meant he moved level with Alan Shearer and Andy Cole for the most goal involvement in the Premier League season. And it also meant he secured the 4th Golden Boot, equaling the record held by Arsenal legend Thierry Henry. And of course, Salah's goal and his significant contribution to Liverpool, he also won the Playmaker of the season. What a season it has been for Mohamed Salah and Liverpool.
I think that's part of this, and I think he needs to still apologize to Mohamed Salah. He was one of those that said Mohamed Salah is finished. However, Look at what Mohamed Salah has done. At 33, he is scoring goals with reckless abandon. He is in the form of his life. He's like, the longer the wine, the sweeter it tastes. That is what is showing at the moment. I mean, he deserves all the accolades. And to be honest with you, he should definitely win the Player of the Season in the EPL. He has done so much. Unfortunately, because of the Champions League debut, he will not win the Ballon d'Or. However, he has, he's one of the best players in the EPL at the moment. And I don't see him, falling down the pecking order because of the kind of performance he has put in. And the guy is ready to go, owing to the fact that Liverpool has just extended his contract, and that serves as a motivation for him throughout the remainder of the season. Kudos to Mohamed Salah. I was rooting for him to come more than 29 goals. However, he finished the season with 29 goals, and that is not bad for a striker that's already 33. Kudos to Mohamed Salah and kudos to Liverpool.
All right, and of course, kudos to Mohamed Salah and kudos to Liverpool. Also, the fact that he's not even scoring goals only. He's the king of assists in the Premier League. That makes a complete forward. That's the dream of every coach. And does he stand a chance of for the Ballon d'Or and the African Footballer of the Year?
Well, African Footballer of the Year, it's not. I think African Footballer of the Year, yes. I think Osimhen comes second for African Footballer of the Year. And the reason is that because of the point system of Galatasaray of the Fenerbahce League. That is the reason why Osimhen comes second. Mohamed Salah wins the calling it officially on BOP that Mohamed Salah is the next African footballer of the year. Then now coming to the assist, I mean, he joined Liverpool in 2017, and for 8 consecutive years, he has not scored less than 15 goals in a season. So now top it all. Remember, he usually has the speed and the rest of that. Now he's a bit advanced in age. The speed is no longer there. He has refined how he plays. He now plays like a playmaker, creates opportunity, creates space, and still top it up with goals. That shows, he has been able to improve his game, and that's what consistency brings to you. This was the same Salah that was surplus to requirements in Chelsea. He was chased away like a thief in the night, chased to the Italian Serie A, and he came back, he branded himself. Look at what he's doing. I mean, it just shows how amazing, Mohamed Salah has been for the past 8 years.
Yeah, and the fact that Liverpool did not go far in the Champions League, some have already written him off as far as the Ballon d'Or contest is concerned.
Well, for the Ballon d'Or, I mean, see, the thing is, there's a huge bias for the Champions League, and also there's a huge bias, for the Spanish side. I think in top 10 for the Ballon d'Or, he's not in it. I think he makes top 10. I think somebody from Inter or PSG wins the Ballon d'Or. Either of them that wins the Champions League, somebody from that particular team wins the Ballon d'Or, and we might have a shocker of our life that will probably see a Yamin Lamar or a Rafinha win the Ballon d'Or. But I don't think he wins the Ballon d'Or. I think he makes top 10 in the Ballon d'Or, but not win it.
All right, top 10 the Ballon d'Or, and of course maybe we'll have a show to talk about the Ballon d'Or prospects maybe as the week progresses, because we also have Kylian Mbappe who won the European Golden Boot, talking about the Pichichi. Quite an interesting one with the goals out there in the Spanish La Liga. And of course, it was no one was in any mood for negativity. So it was a nice touch that Trent Alexander-Arnold was cheered onto the pitch as a halftime substitute to play his final 45 minutes in a Liverpool shirt. And I saw the man in tears. He will always be remembered as a Liverpool legend as well, talking about Trent Alexander-Arnold. He also was celebrated with an applause. And of course, seeing him kiss the jersey he wore since he was age 4, talking about Trent Alexander-Arnold. Maiwa, he goes to Real Madrid.
Well, I think he has been a faithful servant for Liverpool. I think he has won everything he could win. 2 Premier League titles, FA Cup, Carabao Cup, 2 silver medals in the Europa League. I think he has done everything he needs to do for Liverpool. And I think, to be honest with you, he's not missing out. He has done his best. And him going to seek another challenge, I think that's the best thing for him. He's going to one of the biggest clubs in Europe to seek another challenge. And for those that are throwing stick at him, I hope they let the hot go. He has served Liverpool faithfully, and it's very difficult to see him go. But I think he deserves to go, because there's really nothing to motivate him again in Liverpool, except Liverpool wants to win the Europa League.
All right, thank you very much, Maya, for being a part of the show. We'll meet again tomorrow for another edition of Locker Room. It's been a pleasure having you.
It's always amazing to be here, and I hope Excel and Super Eagles, they're able to sort themselves out before the meeting game starts. Thank you for having me, Jerry.
All right, thank you very much. Of course, thanks for the guys behind the scene, talking about the lives of Shegun, Sam, Jeremiah, and Ikechukwu. My name is Jerry Apelehai, and up next is Political Lens with Chukwuma Okoro. Stay safe.